10 deleted scenes you missed in PIXAR'S LUCA. PIXAR'S LUCA, the new animated movie of Pixar that has made everyone that watched it want the second one instantly. A movie full of great scenes that make us want to leave our country and go to the Italian Riviera to live the life that Luca and his best friend Alberto lived that summer. Luca is the definition of a great animated movie because it's well written, fun, emotional, has a great storyline, and many other great points that make you have a fun time while watching it. Luca shows us how great the life of a kid can be if you decide to take risks and be courageous because of one big decision he made in his life. He met incredible people like the fun Alberto, the courageous Giulia, had an incredible time in the town of Portorosso, learning how to drive bikes, eat pasta, learning astronomy with Giulia, and made so many unforgettable memories that changed his life forever because of one big courageous decision. A movie that really shows you the value of friendship and letting go of your worries and fears to adventure into a world of happiness and joy. PIXAR'S LUCA starts with the story of Luca Paguro, a little sea fish who knows that there is another world right above him, and after finding cool objects from the surface at the bottom of the ocean, Luca decides to explore the outside world. Right after this, he meets Alberto, another sea fish who tells him that he lives in the human world, and that is amazing. He pulls Luca out of the water to prove him that he will turn into a human, and here the two guys start their incredible journey into the human town of Portorosso. But as with any movie, these scenes we actually see in the movie went through a thorough process made by the director Enrico Casarosa to decide whether or not they were going to end up in the movie. But these scenes are not everything there is of the movie. There are tons of deleted scenes of Luca that didn't make it into the movie because the director didn't find them fit for the movie. Deleted scenes that give us a different outlook on the movie. Scenes that make Luca way more interesting, fun, and joyful to watch. So without further ado, let's get straight into the 10 deleted scenes you missed in PIXAR'S LUCA. Let's go. PIXAR'S LUCA initially starts with two fishermen fishing close to the shore of the town of Portorosso. Then, something unknown inside the water comes and hits the boat. This unknown thing is Alberto, but the fishermen think it's a fish. They try to catch it, but Alberto puts off a good fight and he escapes. In the middle of the scuffle, some objects from the fisherman's boat fall into the water and land at the bottom of the sea. These are the same objects that the boy called Luca, the main character of the movie, finds and becomes fascinated by, which sets off the main premise of the movie. Now, this beginning wasn't supposed to be like this. As directors try to create the best scenes, they scrap others along the way, and this scene was going to be one of those. Initially, the beginning of Luca was going to start with some shots of sea nature. Then a fish kid who, just like Alberto, dominated the art of the two worlds, the human world and the sea world, was going to be seen interacting with the two worlds in a happy and curious way. Then, he was going to jump into the water, and here, we were going to see a full and detailed transformation of the character. The arms, the hands, the face, and the eyes were going to slowly transform into a sea fish. He continues to swim, and suddenly, we would see a shot of an underwater civilization under the sea where the sea fish lives. A human boat then appears, and the inhabitants of the underwater world force the boat to turn to the other side of the water so they wouldn't be able to fish any inhabitants of the city. Now, this is a beautiful intro for the movie, but this scene was deleted in the words of the director because the scene didn't get to tell the real story of Luca. It was too confusing, and I'm with that, to be honest. It didn't tell anything about the plot, so they started with an intro that told us everything about the two worlds right away, like the scene of the fisherman with Alberto, and then instantly begin to show us the story of the main character Luca. Something that this deleted scene didn't deliver, and it's true. Although it was beautiful, it had nothing to do with the plot, to be honest. In the final version of PIXAR'S LUCA, the two worlds, the human and the sea world, don't have any sort of contact. The only sea fishes that we see both on land and water before Luca gets out of the water are the two elderly women and Alberto. That's it. The sea fishes are reluctant to meet humans and are secretive about their existence at all times. That's why when Luca goes up to his mom to tell her about going to the surface, she tells him that they don't discuss, contemplate, or go anywhere near the surface. And also, in Luca, we don't see that many sea fishes around him. In the beginning of the movie, we see that he talks with one or two of his species, and that's it. There isn't like a big population of Luca species underwater. But this wasn't going to be the case at first. Initially, there was a scene called Isola de Mare. Here, we were going to have an entire civilization of sea fishes living and partaking in the day-to-day activities of humans in a distant island, as opposed to the reluctant attitude we see in the final movie. The sea fishes would get out of the water, turn into humans, and live their lives as humans in this little colony of sea fishes on the surface. They would be sleeping, chilling, and if a human passed by, they would act normally as humans and all, but then, once the humans were gone, they would start pouring water at themselves and get into the water and go back to being sea fishes. It's not like in the final version where we see that the fishes don't know they're gonna turn into sea fishes and then they get shocked during the transformation process. Here, they combine both the human and the sea fish life perfectly. We also have an underwater civilization that the fishes in the surface go back to when they're done pretending. They play games, they go back to their families, etc. Now, the director of Luca wanted wanted to take this scene out of the movie because it was too complex and redundant. You had to focus on two worlds at the same time, when in reality Enrico Casarosa wanted to focus solely on Portorosso being the first city that Luca sees. It had to feel special and vibrant, whereas adding another city would be both confusing and make Portorosso less special. He also wanted to add that little mystique of the surface to the movie, and that maybe they knew they would turn into humans in the surface, but it was forbidden, whereas in this scene everyone just knows it and lives normally with this trait, which makes it less special and obviously a little bit boring. Luca first meets Alberto Scorfano when he's looking at some objects that fell from the surface at the bottom of the sea, and Alberto comes in an old diving suit and scares him. Here, Alberto takes off his helmet and presents himself to Luca. Here they start talking about the surface, and Alberto tells him that he's been living on the surface for quite some time now, and it's amazing up there. Not exactly what Luca and his species think. After this, Luca follows Alberto to the edge between water and land, and here Alberto pulls Luca out of the water to prove to him that he will turn into a human as soon as his body touched land. After this, Luca goes back to his parents, and then he goes back to Alberto, and from here, the two guys' friendship starts. The two guys have one of the best friendships we've ever seen on an animated movie. But is that term really accurate? Friendship? At first, what we see is that the two guys are friends, but if we keep looking at the actions, especially Alberto's actions and faces in certain scenes, we get to the incredibly accurate and solid theory that the two guys, Luca and Alberto, are not only friends, but they are more than that, and they both have feelings towards each other, especially Alberto towards Luca. This is not only a theory at this point. If we keep looking at Alberto's face and actions when Giulia starts getting close to Luca, Alberto gets very, very jealous, like a protective attitude that a normal friend wouldn't have at all. It looks like Alberto wants to be the person who is around Luca at all times. There is actually the theory that the director Enrico Casarosa actually had a deleted scene where the two kissed, and that this movie was going to be the first of its kind in Pixar. But then Enrico Casarosa scrapped it and decided to keep it a secret for probably the second title of Luca. Whatever the case may be, their relationship may not be only a friendship. In the ultimate version of the movie, Luca and Alberto meet Giulia when the two guys first enter the city of Portorosso looking for a vespa. The guys accidentally hit Ercoli's vespa. Ercoli gets mad and tries to drown Luca in a fountain nearby. This is where Giulia first comes in. She comes riding a bike and she defends Luca and Alberto against Ercoli. Here we see the brave, capable, and strong Giulia that we learned a lot from throughout the movie. From here, Giulia takes Luca and Alberto on her bike and she tells them that weird guys like her, Luca, and Alberto should stay together. And after this, she overhears them talking about winning the competition to buy a Vespa. They convince her to join the team, and this is where the three guys start becoming friends. Now, the introduction of Giulia into the movie wasn't gonna be like this at first. Initially, in the deleted scene, Giulia was actually gonna show up really early into the movie, right on the island where Alberto lives before going to Portorosso. Initially, Luca was just gonna be there chilling, waiting for Alberto to come, and all of a sudden, a photography-passionate Giulia would show up in a boat to take some pictures of the island. Luca then tries to hide from her behind a rock. He peeks out for a second, she sees him, and immediately opens a conversation with him. She asks him about where his boat is because she actually thinks he's a human and he got to the island on a boat. So Luca tells her that he will be bringing it soon and tells her to wait in her place. He hides again and we see the one and only Alberto, who tells Luca not to be scared and talk to Giulia. They both start talking to Giulia, and while Luca's telling Alberto to get out of there so she doesn't discover them, Alberto decides to go on her boat. While on the boat, she asks him a question that they can't answer and they jump into the water. Here she goes underwater to try to save them. She looks for them and then she finds out that they're sea fishes. She panics and almost drowns, but Luca and Alberto take her back to the boat. Here, the two guys, Luca and Alberto, explain everything to her. Now, Enrico Casarosa decided to take this scene out of the movie because she was gonna discover that they were sea fishes too early into the movie. There was not gonna be that early drama that Luca and Alberto go through to hide their true identities to Giulia and the other characters. This scene of the movie didn't allow for the movie to continue in a straight line. Rather, it was too revealing in the first scene. Because of this, Enrico Casarosa decided to drop it for the Giulia we see in the final version of the movie, and in my opinion, this was the right choice. And well, my guys, that's all the dose of DJ there is for today. I hope you liked the video and liked all of this amazing deleted scenes in Pixar's Luca. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, my guys. Peace!